Welcome to the full moon in Taurus. This is the magnetic business map. So this is about illuminating your path towards more aligned prosperity. So at this time that we're under the Taurus full moon, I just want you to take a nice deep breath in and then exhale slowly. Just allow yourself to begin to arrive, to feel right here, right now. Let's take another deep breath together. Slowly release and just feel yourself fully ready for the energy of this full moon. So full moons are amazing astrological events. They happen every month, but they're still amazing. They're like a culmination point. And they are a culmination point, but they're also part of a bigger flow, a bigger tide of change that you can bring about in your life. So the seed that you are planting is going to grow not only during this coming month, but into the future. And in fact, the seeds that you planted back in April at the Taurus new moon are what can also be revealed right now, if you can remember back to what was happening at the April new moon. So you're making choices that have a ripple effect going through. So it is an important time. Just kind of allow yourself to pause, to receive the illumination from the full moon. And it is a super full moon, so super powerful in its energy. And just reflect. And Taurus is the sign that invites us to reconnect with the earth, reconnect into our bodies, and reconnect to what we truly value. So it's not about trying to strive or push forward with things. It's about coming back in and considering what it is that's anchoring you. What's real? What's solid? What do you actually need to feed your business and your soul? So at this point in time, if you are watching this exactly at the full moon, the moon is in Human Design Gate 2, which is called the receptive or the direction of the self. It's the part of our design that doesn't go about chasing the path ahead. It is receptive. It is about receiving. It is earth energy. It is feminine energy. So tonight, we open that receptive field up and we allow ourselves to open up and see the illumination that has happened since the last new moon in particular. And this helps us to understand how the universe is actually guiding us in our business, how we've been guided over the past few weeks, and then that can help us to have confidence in being guided in the next 6 months as well. So I want you just to think back to what was happening about 2 weeks ago at the new moon. What were you focused on? You know, what was within your conscious awareness, unconscious awareness? You know, whatever you were focusing on is what has been unfolding during that time. And then if you can remember back to the Taurus new moon around April, you know, what were you actually seeking to understand? What were the big goals that you were wanting to bring into your conscious reality? What were you wanting to bring into your business? And if you can remember back that far, how have those things evolved since? You know, this is a chance to really check in on not only the recent past, but the more long-term past. Now, if you want to go even deeper into harnessing this idea of the new moon energy in your business, if you subscribe to my channel, there will be a link to the live masterclass that I'm holding on November 20 in Australian time. So this is a Sagittarius new moon. So very powerful, very exciting as someone who is a Sagittarius rising. Okay, so let's dive in a little bit further to this full moon. So one of the aspects of a full moon is it being like a mirror, and it's reflecting back to us the truth of what's been unfolding, the truth of what we truly planted, whether we realized it or not, or perhaps the things we failed to plant, despite maybe our best intentions. So I want you, if you've got it handy, to grab your journal, and you can be guided by the prompts as I speak them, or just simply close your eyes and allow your intuition to guide your reflection as I speak out the prompts. Now, the prompts will also be available down below. So if you don't get them all, or you want to go back and look at them a little bit further, then you'll be able to do that. So let's start with the first prompt. What is it that feels really visible in your business right now? So just breathe into that and just record or notice what is coming through for you. Okay, next reflection question. What's working and what's asking for some adjustments to be made at this moment? So this one is probably a little bit intuitive, but also a little bit practical. You know, think about how things are going in your business. The next one is, where have you been pushing instead of just allowing? So this is really that receptive energy. What's been draining your energy because you've been pushing instead of working in harmony with your alignment? Might be another way to put it. And the final reflection prompt is one that I have actually been delving into over the last 2 weeks, ironically enough. So this question is, what insight or pattern keeps repeating? Often it's under a full moon that you can finally see clearly what is the root of this repeating pattern, irritation, whatever you want to call it. So that's basically what I experienced for the thing that I've been examining. So this section of what we're looking at under the full moon is really about awareness. And awareness is really the first stage of alignment, kind of like in a play. It's that first act. It's setting the scene, starting to reveal what might happen, giving us some hints. So in our life, when we tap into the full moon and we get that awareness, we are then opening ourselves up to choose what happens going forward. So we're now going to move on to really the core of what we're looking at, which is the magnetic business map. Because this is for entrepreneurs. We are looking at this primarily through the business lens. And once again, you could find it useful to have some paper. You could draw some things related to this, or you can simply use it as a visualization as I guide you through it. So whichever feels alive for you right now, knowing that you can always come back and delve into this again. All right, so I want you to imagine that there is a huge compass and you are standing right in the center. And around you, as is typical with a compass, you have the 4 directions. You've got your north, your east, your south, your west. And each of these different directions can help to guide us into greater business alignment. So I'm going to guide you through some things to be aware of with each of those directions. And as you note each direction, sense not only what's, shifting this month, what's ready to evolve also over the next 6 months. And then each insight can actually become like a checkpoint, a waypoint as you move through the next 6 months. So this first month coming up is part of that bigger picture. All right, so let's take us back into that, imagining that we're in the center of the compass. We're facing towards the north. The north is about asking what I've been holding. So allow yourself to imagine that you're looking to the north. What is it that you've been carrying that is like a burden holding you down? Is it old patterns? Is it outdated offers? Is it draining energy coming through from things in your business? Ask yourself, what am I still holding on to that no longer needs my energy? In fact, that probably needs a bit of fresh breath of air flowing through on it, like the north wind coming down. Okay. So now I want you to imagine that you are looking out to the east. And the east helps us to really see and sense what is it that wants to flow in. This is where the sun rises. And this is about your potential, your opportunity, the clients that you're trying to reach out to, the ideas that you're trying to spread. So ask yourself, what is it that wants to flow into my business that I haven't allowed myself time to pause and receive? Gate 2 is teaching us the lesson here that the path unfolds through receptivity, by being willing to receive, not by being in control. So when you allow yourself to soften, you're also allowing yourself to magnetize. Okay, now I want you to imagine that you're facing towards the south. And this is about what is needing space. So when we go towards the south, we are sensing for clarity and purity, purification. It's kind of like the fresh breath. So what is it that needs space in your business to truly breathe, to have that fresh energy flowing in? So you cannot actually call in new things if you don't have the space to hold it. So this is really a time to become consciously aware of what it is time to release, and be honest, and then actually release it. That can be the tricky thing, I would have to say, particularly if in your human design you have an undefined spleen. Very hard to let stuff go. All right, now let's finally go to the west. So this is what your inner compass is actually whispering, leading you to. This is the direction of the setting sun, of intuition and inner truth. So ask yourself, if I stopped forcing the outcomes, what direction in my business would just naturally unfold? And don't think about this from your mind. Think about it through the body awareness, your intuitive awareness. Whatever is naturally coming up, as I ask the question, I'll ask it again. This is the thing that you need to honor in the month ahead. This is actually going to become the magnetic direction for you going into the next cycle. So let me ask the question again. Let's just have a little pause, focus in on our body. If I stopped forcing outcomes, what direction would naturally unfold? So this magnetic business map isn't about fixing your strategy. It isn't about putting boundaries around things. It's about hearing your soul's direction. The clarity you are seeking comes once again when you create space to actually listen into it. Okay, now that we've cleared some things out, we've started to map what the direction is. Let's now fill things in with gratitude and value. So this is what I call the Taurus treasure vault. As I already said, Taurus teaches us about values. He teaches us, that prosperity begins from a place of appreciation. So imagine that there is a beautiful vault before you, maybe shimmering with light, maybe shimmering with this super moon light. And this vault holds everything of true worth in your business. It holds your talents. It holds your unique wisdom, your unique creativity, your connections, and of course, your heart. So we're going to do a little bit of journaling again, if you've got your journal with you. If not, just close your eyes and feel into the answers as I say the questions. And of course, feel welcome to come back, watch again, and actually really step into this energy. This can be so powerful, this part of our process. So the first question is, what are the treasures in my business that I really haven't been valuing enough? This can be a tricky question because we so often don't see our true uniqueness. And that is our true gift to the world. So are you valuing you and your uniqueness? And then building on that, what qualities or skills or experiences or anything like that, anything about your life and what you've learned have become so deeply ingrained into your nature that you forget that they're this amazing, rare jewel to give out to the world. So what is it that you've almost felt like you need to keep hidden? And now allow this full moon energy to shine the light on it, bring your intuitive awareness to it. And then finally, with our little treasure vault, think about what you can be grateful for. What abundance have I already created, is the question, that deserves to be celebrated. What is that abundance? And it doesn't have to be monetary, but maybe there is this connection to prosperity through Taurus that you're becoming aware of. And then I just want you to feel gratitude flowing through your body for who you are, your natural gifts, and for the gifts that you already received from the universe. So acknowledge all of the different aspects of wealth that exist within you and within your business. So they could be tangible things, they could be intangible. Just be grateful. And this might be something to journal on further as we come to the end of the full moon. Okay, now we're going to do a very short little visualization as we come near the end of this time spent really harnessing the beautiful energy of the full moon. So I just want you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath, breathing in, breathing out slowly and deeply. Let's maybe do 2 more breaths. So deeply in at your own pace. And slowly and completely out. Allowing yourself to feel fully connected to the earth, fully grounded as we take that final breath in and slowly, slowly out. And as your breath flows out, I just want you to keep your eyes closed and visualize yourself standing barefoot on truly fertile ground that is being lit up by this super full moon. The earth actually feels warm beneath your feet, maybe even alive beneath your feet. And there's just this coolness to the air that's all around you. Just really feel into that sense of being grounded and surrounded. When you're standing at the center of your business, surrounded by those 4 directions that we've already explored, just really sense what is there existing in each direction of that compass. Which direction feels like it needs to become alive first? Just really feel into that. Notice intuitively what is saying, pick me. And then as that awareness begins to flow through, just become so aware of the energy of the earth just coming up through the soles of your feet and rising up through your body like a beautiful, gentle wave, grounding your thoughts and your ideas into form. And then around you, notice the 4 directions shimmering again, each one glowing softly, perhaps each one glowing with a different color in this light of the moon. Just really sense into what wants to flow in to your body through the earth, through each different direction that is possible. And then I want you to go right deep into the very center of your body and just become aware of your flow of energy, your breath. And then allow yourself to see or hear or recognize at an intuitive level something that is wanting to be carried through for the next month, maybe the next 6 months. There will be some kind of a hint coming through from your higher self, from your soul. Once you're aware of what this is, hold it in your hands gently, carefully. This needs to be nurtured. This is going to be like your magnetic north, the direction that you need to be focusing on for your aligned expansion. So as you're holding it gently in your hands, bring it up to heart level. Place your hands over your heart and feel whatever that was, word, picture, symbol, sense, feeling, absorb that into your heart and silently affirm, I receive my direction with trust and I follow it with grace. And then I want you to take a really deep breath in, maybe going into your heart center, into your belly, and flowing through your body. And then when you're ready, exhale And a slow, careful breath. And wonderful that you've absorbed something new, and then open your eyes. So you've just anchored in to yourself, your magnetic business map. You've celebrated your treasures and you've reconnected yourself to your own personal internal compass. So as we move through the waning moon over the next 2 weeks, let that direction integrate slowly. So we are currently at the full moon. This is all about the illumination, the awareness, and hopefully you've had some awareness come through for you. After the full moon, we move into a stage called the waning gibbous. And this is the stage where we're integrating and we're refining whatever was illuminated, but even more so what was planted at the previous new moon. And then finally, after we've been integrating, refining, really understanding what's needed, we move into the last quarter where there's decisions to be made. It's kind of a more active stage. What do we need to prune? What do we need to care for? What do we need to let go of? So it's quite an active stage. And then we move into the waning crescent, which is just rest, renew, and then be ready for the start of the new cycle with the next new moon. And at each new moon, you have the opportunity to begin a new 6-month story, one that reaches its culmination, its illumination at the corresponding full moon. In this case, for the coming new moon, it will be next May. So you can set monthly intentions and then you can set more long-term ones. So the new moon intentions are like little seeds that are being planted, being cared for at each cycle of the moon until they reach their full growth, their full power at the 6-month point. Or if not quite, maybe they need to continue on for another 6 months and so on. All right, so I would love you to actually join me live for that next step where we look at new moon intention setting for entrepreneurs. This will be happening under the Sagittarius supermoon energy. And we will take the insights that you've actually gathered here. So all of those important realizations about your treasures, your direction, some clarity that you've received. And they are going to seed your aligned intention for the coming months into that 6-month arc. So if tonight's reflection has shown you how deeply your soul and business are intertwined, and hopefully it has, then if you want to find out more, I have got a link down below to a free call to find out a little bit more about the Cosmic Destiny Map, which is a beautiful process of going deeper into your energy, your business's energy, and how to align fully with what you're here to do. But to finish, let's breathe in. Once again, feel that beautiful stability of Taurus, the clarity of gate 2, the receptivity of gate 2, and sense that steady heartbeat of the earth just guiding you as you move through your pathway of life. Remember always, you are the key. You unlock your truth, which gives you the chance to own your path. Thank you for joining me.